Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the DTM Esports Classic Challenge. My name is Actual Vision, aka Luke Crane, and I am joined by Mr. Fact Man himself, Oliver Sittler. How you doing?
Thanks, Luke. I'm really fine. Hope you as well. Hope everyone in front of the screens. And so we say hello for round 4 of the DTM Esports Classic Challenge, this time in Monza, where the normal DTM should be scheduled for the end of June.
Yeah, if you're wondering why Ollie is on camera and I'm not, it's because he's the eye candy. And I've got a face for radio, so they have to keep me off the screen. I don't want to scare the children. But yeah, great to be here. And today we are at Monza, which, of course, well, in sim racing terms, this is like the Battle of Hastings. This is crazy. Yeah, Turn 1 is just a meme these days at Monza within sim racing. But we're going to prove that to be wrong today. So again, a very classic circuit here. 8 minutes qualifying for both races, then a 15-minute timed race. And well, anything can happen at circuits like this, Ollie, especially in 2008.
Especially in the first corner, which is called Variante del Rettifilo. It's the chicane you can see at the end of the starting straight. And we're still in practice. Fastest is Pinches in front of Blomkvist. And Timo Glock is third.
There's always a Hungarian, I'm telling you. Every single time there's someone right at the top of the timesheets, it's invariably a Hungarian. That is for sure. But let's check out then the drivers here today. The first 10 then will be Lucas Auer coming back again. We've got Tom Blomkvist. We have got Nick Cassidy, Dave Gaming. We've got Robin Freins. We've got Timo Glock, Ben Green, Ferdinand Habsburg, Gary Paffett, and Rene Rast. Take us away with the next 10 then, please, Ollie.
We got Robin Rogalski, Ben Tuck, Kelvin van der Linde, Daniel Berker, Ben Hitz, Corentin Ponto, Yannick Hering, Petr Kubowski, Henry Koch, and Adam Pinches.
Yeah, again,
and that's Adam, the Hungarian guy.
Yeah, there's always a Hungarian, and he is lightning fast. Last week came second in the BenQ Challenger Cup, which I had the pleasure of casting over. And we had also Robert Wiesenmüller, who runs the esports on RaceRoom, coming in third. So he's the man that will be doing all of the work behind the scenes to make sure that these championships that you're watching right now go nice and smoothly. So if it doesn't, you can blame him, which is always good. So me and you, Ollie, are in the clear.
We got Timo Glock with us, who's fifth at the moment. We're very pleased to have him again. He was very good at the first race at Norrisring for round 3 of the DTM Esports Classic Challenge.
Yeah, absolutely. He's like one of my absolute heroes as well. So it's great to see him here. And it was really difficult to watch you interview him last week and me not being able to say anything to him. Like, I just want to say hello. Fangirling over Timo Glock. But again, I was really, really surprised that he'd only just set up his rig that week, his simulation rig, like a couple of days before the event last Sunday. And he was incredible. Again, getting P4 in race number 1. But he struggled a little bit in race 2 because he was in the mid-pack, and you know that's where all of the action happens, and it just loses you time. Isn't that right, Ollie?
Indeed, but he gained some 3 spots. He was some purple sectors. He gained up the second position. As we take a look at Robin Freins, the Dutch guy, he's 5th at the moment.
Yeah, very busy, very, very busy schedule for Robin Freins. Currently racing in the Formula E Race at Home Challenge as well every week. So yeah, he's trying to put his skills across multiple different games, which is very tough indeed. But we've had loads of different winners as well. So we've had 6 different winners out of, well, sorry, we say 6. We've had 5 different winners because Jarno Opmeer won twice last week. But we've had 3 Challenger wins and we've had 3 DTM driver wins, Ollie. And, well, how huge is that? Who's going to come out on top over the course of this 5-week period?
It's incredible. We got Nico Miller winning a race, Tom Blomkvist, and Lucas Auer, the Austrian guy, as well. But there's no points in DTM Esports Classic Challenge. If there would be, it would be Kelvin van der Linde standing at the top of the table. Second would be Rust. Third would be Freins, then Auer and Blomkvist. So, yeah, all the guys taking part regularly, they gain a lot of points and spots, as we have Robin Freins, who has won one race in Solder, and he gained some, he collected some 71 points, if there would be points, as I said.
Yeah, ironically, the two best drivers really over consistency has been Kelvin van der Linde and René Rast, and neither of them have got a race victory yet. So could today be today? And I think we're going to see some big surprises today in terms of the slipstreaming here at Monza. Of course, as soon as you come out of Ascari, you've got a long run down in towards Parabolica, and then a long run down in towards the first chicane, and then you've got another long run down in towards the second chicane. So I think we're going to see so much action today.
And it's 70% of full throttle, and then you get the slipstream battles here at Monza especially. You get the different chicanes called first Variante, second, and then the Variante Ascari, which leads us to the back straight before the however, 2 times, 3 times right-hander called Curva Parabolica, the last one on this track.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, they're into qualifying now here. We already see one car there off into the right-hand side of your screen, but we're on board then with Petr Kubowski, who is the Czech driver. He's racing for Mercedes today. And Ollie, I'm gonna have to throw my support towards Audi, I think, today. They're sending me a shirt. How cool is that?
Yeah, cool. Congratulations for that one. You were asking for it, so yeah, you can look forward.
Absolutely. Again, I've got no favourites. I am impartial. But yeah, how cool is that? You can see here, it's maybe going to be a little bit like Formula One, where they're all trying to get as much slipstream as possible. You can see there, they've all come out of the pits lane as quickly as possible to be inside of course, the or just in behind them as well. So it looks like we've got someone to talk us through a lap as well.
Yeah, it's the Austrian guy rejoining DTM. Welcome, Lukas Auer. And Lukas, lucky, you're gonna lead us through one lap in Monza.
Hi, Ollie. I mean, I can't hear you at all, but I give you a little insight here in Monza. This was turn 1 and turn 2, probably one of the slowest corner in Monza, first gear. Trying to take as much curb as possible and a good exit. Now here everything is flat. Now we're coming to another chicane, second or third gear, around 100 meter braking, trying to take as much curb as possible. Now we're coming to the 2 Lesmos. Really difficult to get them right, third or fourth gear. Second Lesmo. Alright. But as you see here in Monza, it is maximum important to get the exits right. If you want to go for pole position or for a race win, you need to get all the exits right. So I wouldn't say braking is the most important. It's all about how you turn the car and when you go on throttle. Alright, now we're coming to the last corner. Again, a very fast right-hander. Everything in third or fourth gear. And again, most important is the exit. Alright, this was a lap in Monza. Sorry, I can't hear you guys.
Thank you very much.
Enjoy the race and the qualifying.
Good luck in the race, Lucas.
Good luck from my side as well. That was the winner of the second race in round 2. It was Lukas Auer. He's at the 18th spot in the grid at the moment, but I think he's gaining some positions and time as well.
Yeah, it looked a really tidy lap, but what was really impressive there was just how calm and composed he was around there. And you can see that his gear shifting was just like very slight. It wasn't like he was trying to grind down the gears. He was just taking his time with it. Which is really good to see, and also trying to talk to us at the same time, trying to get a lap around Monza is not the easiest thing, that's for sure. We've seen every time someone's tried to do a lap commentary for us, it's kind of upended them more than anything. But yeah, it looks like a very good time indeed. But it's Ben Tuck, who is currently on provisional pole ahead of Adam Hinches, who's one of the very best in RaceRoom in terms of esports. So Ben Tuck looking very quick indeed.
And he's one of the drivers taking part in DTM Trophy, and there were some latest tests regarding the BOP, so there's gonna be some fine racing with the DTM Trophy to come as a supporting series of all the DTM races. There's gonna be some test drives for DTM as the preparation for the start into, or for the late start into the new DTM season. It's going to be a fully packed and very thrilling one this year.
Absolutely. It's going to be amazing here. Top 4, though, separated by 1/10 of a second as it stands. It's quite a long circuit here, the Monza circuit, but of course it is, as you said, 70% flat. Robin Friends, by the way, has done a purple sector number 1. It's gone quicker than his best time in sector number 2. So this could be a relatively good time here as he comes across the line. Can he get any higher than where he is currently? He's currently 19th. I'm pretty sure that's going to be a given here. Where is he going to end up then? Across the line he goes. And he puts himself up into the top 10, into P9. But again, top 10 separated by only 0.8 of a second. And well, we're at Monza here today. What about next week, Ollie? We have got a very special surprise next week. A track that isn't currently in the DTM calendar. Hasn't been raced at in a very, very long time. We can't tell you what it is. How excited are you? Me and you know, so we're really excited.
That's why we're not talking about it, but stay tuned to all the social media channels to know more about it. It's going to be 30 starters with 15 out of the Esports series, so that's going to be the hell of a race. Stay tuned and be sure to be with us on next Sunday again.
Some would say a green hell of a race. Oh, I'm here every week. I'll always put a rubbish joke in somewhere. But yeah, you're right, 15 drivers from the standings. So basically every single week, the top 100, we pick 5 drivers from the time trial. So all of those weeks are going to be added up. So we can get our top 100 across the initial 4 weeks. And then we're going to be picking 15 drivers from that list. So we're going to have 15 real drivers and then 15 sim drivers. I guess for me, they're all real drivers. We've seen that this series, that's for sure, Ollie.
Thank you for joining the DTM Esports Classic Challenge as we got 8,500 participants last race to try to qualify and join the series as well. It's nice to see these numbers. It's nice to see you all struggling with the DTM times or battling against each other. It's nice.
Rene Rast is now on pole position and a 43.605, and he is 600ths clear then of Ben Tuck. Ben Tuck's just gone faster. It's now 400ths of a second between the front two, and if they cross the line now, that is qualifying over. We've then got Quarantine not able to improve. No, he's actually dropped positions. Rogowski has moved up. Ben Hitz in the top 10. He's currently racing in the Formula E Challenge Series as well. He's one of our esports drivers. Timo Glock then in 7th position, 0.4 of a second off the pace. And now we've got Ferdinand Habsburg, who's going to be one of the last drivers to cross the line. But as it stands then, it's Rene Rast for Audi on pole position, a BMW then for Ben Tuck, and then we've got a Mercedes for Adam Pinches in 3rd. So we've got 3 different manufacturers at the top end of the grid here, which has not happened ever in this championship so far. So this is really interesting.
And another thing what's never happened before is Rene Rast winning a race. So maybe we're going to see him winning his first ever DTM Esports Classic Challenge race today.
Yeah, absolutely. So, well, there we go. Is it a poison chalice having P1 in qualifying at Monza? Well, we're going to find out after this very, very short break.
Well, in sport or in life, when you get to the top end and you want the last bit of performance, you need to have personalized data. And obviously, when you get to the top end, it's all the small details that make the difference. Even though we do the best to get the best technology possible, there's still going to be a big deceleration. And I think May is bringing the balaclava with the live. It's going to be a really big help for the medical kit because they know exactly what's going on. They know which state the driver's in. So when that's happening, I'll feel even safer. And I know that when the doctors are coming on site, they know exactly what they need to do.
Welcome back then, ladies and gentlemen, to the DTM Esports Classic Challenge. Well, we're just finishing warm-up here, and of course we are here at Monza. That's one hell of a way to enter the pit lane, that's for sure. As usual, they've got 1 minute now to indeed grid up, ready for race number 1. Of course, we've got 2 races, both with 8 minutes of qualifying, so there's no reverse grid feature or anything like that, but there is the hallowed turf of Monza. But it is René Rast who took pole, Ollie.
Yeah, the track is 5.8 kilometers long, almost, with 10 corners. Seems to be very easy, but a lot of slipstreaming and a lot of, however, 50% flat. Put the throttle to the pedal down, and stay tuned for the DTM race here in Monza. The first one, this is Timo Glock, who finally got a camera, and we're really happy to have him joining him here as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, one of my heroes in the world of racing, so it's great to see him here. But we got 5 red lights on the screen. We're about to go green here for Monza. And well, here we go then, ladies and gentlemen. And we have gone green here for the DTM Esports Challenge. It is race number 7, and you see it is a poison challenge being on pole position because you're being swamped down towards turn number 1. It's going to be 3 wide, I think. Pinches then looks like he is up the inside here. No, he's not. He's around the outside. Oh, a little bit of argy-bargy as they come through turn number 1. Monza always proves to be very tough indeed to get through turn number 1. But Ben Tuck has come out as the aggressor here. René Rast down to 2nd position. Pinches is into 3rd as they come down the long run towards the 2nd chicane. And I think they've got through cleanly here, ladies and gentlemen, which is absolutely sensational to see. Yes, they have come through cleanly. That is rarer. Well, it's rarer than rocking horse poo, to be honest. It's that rare. As they come through the 2nd chicane then, and it is then Ben Tuck now leading from Adam Pinches. So the esports star has got up into 2nd position. And well, it's happening again here. René Rast, right at the front of the grid order, is dropping down in the race.
Yeah, 3rd position at the moment, but it seems to be that we have some professionals behind the steering wheels, and it's the DTM Trophy driver, Ben Tuck, who's really looking forward to a DTM season where he's taken part as a supporting driver in the DTM Trophy, where the last BOP things were sorted out in the last week.
Yeah, absolutely. In a normal GP circuit, you would see that these drivers might be able to get away in lap number 1 if they've only got lap number 1 to get away before DRS is indeed in effect. But Monza being a slipstream city, it doesn't matter about DRS because you can see there already Adam Pinches has moved his way up into the lead of this race. René Rast, though, has got a drive-through penalty for ignoring slowdowns, which is not ideal. It's going from bad to worse here for René Rast, Ollie.
Yeah, indeed. It seems to be that we have Mr. Sven Stopper looking over the race circuit. Now, it's the race director of DTM who's normally judging about small and little mistakes of the drivers, but obviously he's not here with us in the DTM Esports Classic Challenge this time.
Yeah, no, he's not, but well, he's very strict if he is, that is for sure. But we see René Rast then is now at the head of a 2nd group of drivers. In behind him then is Tom Blomkvist, of course a race winner earlier in this season as well. Lucas Auer, of course, who did our qualifying lap. You see DRS is open for all of these drivers here, so it becomes a little bit more difficult to utilise it. But look at this little late defensive move there by René Rast, and actually that might cause contact, and yes, René Rast is kind of pit manoeuvred himself there.
Yes, he was out of the circuit and he dropped down to position 7. Blomkvist, Van der Linde and Glock gained 1 position.
Yeah, I don't know, for me that was far too late to defend there going into the braking zone, and it's kind of reaped the rewards that he deserved for that move there, unfortunately for him. But he'll come back stronger. I'm pretty sure that actually side by side currently with Rogowski. But we're on board then with Ben Tuck, and he's got DRS. He's now in the lead. He managed to use DRS to get into the leaders race, but because Pinches was in the lead as they crossed the line on this lap, he will not have DRS. So it's going to be tough for him to indeed hold on. You can see how early Ben is opening up that DRS. Very, very risky strategy on the exit of Ascari. You can lose the car so easily there, but you can see the huge effect it does indeed have.
Yes, indeed. But if he races DTM Trophy later this season, he's not going to have some DRS, so he has to get used to take the moment out of the corners. And we take a look at Timo Glock, who's 6th at the moment in his yellow BMW Beast.
Circling like a shark here, isn't he? Again, the driver in front will indeed have DRS as well, so it's going to be very, very difficult. But look at all of these cars. Everyone on the grid is still on the same part of the circuit here. So it's been a very clean race here at Monza, apart from a little incident that Rene was involved with. But again, he's still doing pretty damn well. He's still in top 8, so he did lose it here. But it looks like, I'll tell you what, as I say that, commentators cursed. Rene Rast is out of the race here, and there was big contact there. Not too sure what has happened. But look at this, side by side for the lead here, and it is Pinches who's going to take the lead of this race as they come towards that second chicane. And Ben Tucker's got an absolute flyer through the entrance of that chicane. He might be able to reciprocate the position. We're on board there with Kelvin van der Linde, looking to get his first win of the season. I tell you, it was a very good exit through the first Lesmo here. It is side by side between Adam Pinches and Ben Tuck, but Pinches just able to hold on to that position. But Ben Tuck is looking very racy indeed today.
He is indeed, and the field is very close with some 10.5 minutes to go in this first race here at Monza, but under great pressure is the leader of the race, the Hungarian Adam Pinches.
It's always a Hungarian. There's always a Hungarian when it comes to RaceRoom Esports. That is a fact.
And this time he's leading.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's got the RS as well, as he was not leading as he crossed the line on this lap. So we're seeing this will be the same potentially for the rest of this race here. So Ben Tuck will get DRS as well on the next lap. He won't have it this time here, but he's managed to stay within striking distance. But look at this, Tom Blomkvist, Lucas Auer, Kelvin van der Linde and Timo Glock are all very close indeed. I think we could potentially see a 6-way battle for this race lead here later on in this race, Ollie. And actually, we're watching Blomkvist now trying to get involved in the lead battle. He's trying to get P2. He's in the slipstream. He's got DRS wide open. We'll have to go out wide here for turn number 1 and turn number 2. And Ben Tuck then not able to really attack P1 because he's defended from now 4 cars behind him.
Great stuff, but it was pretty tidy how they get through the first chicane. Tom Blomkvist did not try to move further to the front, but at the end there was no incident. He's trying again out of the slipstream. He comes battling for second position behind Pinches, the Hungarian, and he managed to gain this spot.
Yeah, of course, those two going side by side through that chicane, though, is only going to have cost them both time here to the leader here, Pinches. They need to try and close that gap as quickly as possible. Pinches, give him a chance. He will indeed drive away, no questions asked. Timo Glock, by the way, has moved up a position here. So Lucas Auer now down into P6. Timo doing it for the old guard right now. Again, it's only his second ever esports event. Just goes to show how much talent this guy really has. They come through Ascari here, and well, you can see that Lucas is very close indeed behind here. We've got Yannick trying to make a move here for P8. He has done. He's up to P8 then. Gets the job done on the Mercedes driver in P9. Next up for him then is Ben Hitz, and they're a little bit off the pace here. They're not really battling for the lead, and actually Tom Blomkvist is the one to watch out for because he is right underneath that rear wing of the Hungarian. And can Blomkvist go out and get his second win of the series so far?
Yeah, he won the first race at the second round, but he's battling for the lead now on the start and finish straight, and he's gained a position, and he's in front now. Blomkvist, the new leader, in front of Ben Tuck, and Pinches is battling for second position as well, and it's van der Linde who's on P3 now.
He lost 3 spots in one straight. DRS is a beautiful thing. There we go. Lead is now changed. Tom Blomkvist leads. Ben Tuck is in second. A 1-2, then 4 BMW as it's down to Kelvin van der Linde. All of a sudden, had a pretty quiet race so far. Has now put himself in a position to potentially get into the lead battle. Pinches then being mugged here by Timo Glock as well. Glock on the brakes late in towards that second chicane. And now Pinches all of a sudden has gone from the lead down to P5. And he's done nothing wrong. He's not even made a mistake.
No, but there's some aces racing these cars. Blomkvist, the first one, and Timo Glock, who managed to do it so well in his second ever esports race.
Yeah, well, we've got the real-life drivers now, P1, P2, P3, P4. And now there's only one real esports representative here trying to do his level best here. Timo Glock's going to have to go defensive up towards Ascari here as he's got Adam Pinches again. There's always a Hungarian, and actually he makes a late move there, potentially at the inside, but he doesn't. Timo Glock covers him off nicely as they come through the entrance of Ascari. And now through the exit, they're actually costing each other time here. So Pinches needs to lean on his experience a little bit more here and not really upend the German driver in front of him. They need to try and catch back up. They need to work together to catch back up, because we've seen Blomkvist, we have seen Ben Tuck, we've seen Kelvin van der Linde race against each other a few times this series, and they are very, very much going to use each other to try and drive away. And then maybe in the last couple of laps, then they'll start battling for the race victory.
And there's quite a gap between van der Linde and Glock, while Ben Tuck is taking the lead again. here in the start-finish straight. But Glock has to manage his rear view mirrors while Pinches is trying to come up again. And it's Blomkvist. No, it's Ben Tuck after this first chicane who gained the lead as well again.
Did you see Kelvin van der Linde there doing his usual trick of bump drafting? But not one car, 2 cars. He is bump drafting Blomkvist and Ben Tuck. Incredible. He's still doing it now. You can see the movement there of Blomkvist's car. As you can see there, he is actually in 2nd position. Kelvin is in 3rd spot. But again, it's not really working where they can just drive away. It looks like Timo Glock and Pinches are indeed closing in. It looks like Lucas Auer may have just dropped off the back of this battle here as they come through the Lesmos. First Lesmo is probably tougher than the second one. The second Lesmo has got a nice bit of camber to the corner there, so you can utilise that indeed to get the car rotated. But again, the lead battle is 5 drivers as it stands. Lucas just off the pace. So it's Ben Tuck that leads, Blomkvist 2nd, Kelvin van der Linde is in 3rd, Timo Glock in 4th. Could Timo go out and get a victory here?
Maybe, but it's Kelvin van der Linde who's in position 3 at the moment, so he's one of the guys entering the podium as it stands right now, 5 minutes till the end. It's Lucas Auer who is a bit lost in the middle of the field on position 6, but we've seen, or we know that it's many straights here, many hard braking zones, and so there's many swaps of positions, especially in Monza.
Yep, and this is now where they're going to start really battling for the race victory. Robin Fries then up into P7 with him and Ben Hitz. And ironically, Robin Fries is racing in the Formula E Series, the main series, and then we've got Ben Hitz who's racing in the Challenger Series. But this is the battle we want to be seeing here. And Kelvin van der Linde is pushing Blomkvist into the lead of the race there. We can see Pinches trying to find a little bit of room to work with, but they were nearly 3 wide there. Nowhere to make an overtake at all then for the Esports star. And now Timo Glock down to P5, but Blomkvist now in the lead of this race. But I think Kelvin van der Linde has decided to turn on the power button. He's like, nope, right, I've had enough of bump drafting. We've all taken it easy for a while now, but I'm here to try and take the race victory. Pinches then trying to take P3 away from Ben Tuck. And Ben Tuck has just had what happened to Pinches a couple of laps ago. He went from P1 to P4 in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, that's incredible. We've seen the top 3 moving around all the time and changing positions. It's Blomkvist again in the lead, then van der Linde and Pinches. Ben Tuck trying to get the 3rd position, while Timo Glock is just watching from his 5th spot and some smalling the gap, or smallering the gap.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. I'm not going to argue with any of your terminology. Your facts are incredible, so you win every time for me, Ollie. Through Ascari then, as they got 3 minutes remaining here, so 2 more laps, I would say, of this very historic circuit. The Tifosi will not get an Italian winner here today, but will they get an ex-Formula 1 driver winning this race in that big yellow mobile there? The Bumblebee is on its way, and then we've got Ben Tuck. So Ben Tuck, all of a sudden, is now off the back of the pack of the leaders, where he was indeed leading this race. And Kelvin van der Linde then is now behind Blomkvist. Those two indeed did have a battle when Blomkvist won in round 2, or race number 3 of our championship here, but they've got the dangerous Hungarian. Adam Pinches, he's the one to watch out for, of course. He's got the most sim racing experience out of everybody here, and he makes a very late break move there up in towards the first chicane, but he's going to set himself up for this second part of the circuit here, down towards the second chicane. Again, this is a flat-out right-hander. DRS will indeed be wide open, and I'll be very surprised as we come up towards Ascari later in this lap if these 3 aren't already 3 wide. And actually, we might get them 3 wide coming into the second chicane. Didn't realise how close they were here. And Kelvin van der Linde is trying to help his mate Blomkvist here. I think he realises we want to beat the esports drivers. He realises that Pinches is an esports guy, and he's wanting to try and push his mate Blomkvist, and then them 2 battle it out on their own. They don't want Pinches involved here, but I don't think they've got much of a choice here. The Hungarian is ready to pounce like a panther as it stands.
Maybe Timo Glock is playing a role later in this 1 minute and 50 seconds lasting race when he's trying to get to the podium and remove Pinches from the 3rd spot. But talking about Formula 1, talking about history here at Monza, we've got some sunny weather today, but I think there has been some rain in 2008. Luke.
Oh yes, that was where the main man of DTM, Gerhard Berger, was running Toro Rosso, and a young driver, didn't really do much in his career to be fair, by the name of Sebastian Vettel. Ever heard of him?
Yeah, he's German, I think.
Yeah, he managed to win the race for Toro Rosso And wow, that was a platform for him. 4-time world champion now in Formula One. Of course, announced this week that he's leaving Ferrari, but what an incredible driver he indeed is. Now we've got the 3 wide here. This is for the race victory now as they come across the line here in formation like jet planes down in towards turn number 1. It's the final lap of today's first race then, and Kelvin van der Linde has been very patient here, and he's got the DRS, but I don't think Blomkvist has. So Blomkvist is now, this is perfect for Kelvin. So he's now managed to put the only driver with no DRS in between him and his potential rival of Adam Pinches. So it's all for Kelvin van der Linde here. Or did he? No, I think he may have just got his nose in front here. And actually, I think he's got into the lead of this race far too late. So he's just crossed the line in the lead here, so he's the one under pressure. Blomkvist then late on the brakes here, almost a bit of contact there. You can see that, well, Kelvin van der Linde trying to find a gap here. Pinches is also trying to get involved here, and well, you can see Timo Glock, the only way he's really going to win this is these 3 indeed have it coming together, but the race has been so good in this series, it's going to be very unlikely to happen. But as it stands then, Ollie, it is Blomkvist that leads.
What a battle, what a race here at Monza for the first time in the DTM Esports Classic Challenge in Italy. It's Blomkvist, van der Linde and Pinches who's still playing a role, the Hungarian guy we're on board with. He's right in the 3rd spot, just in front of Timo Glock.
Here we go, this is where he's going to try and make the move then. So Kelvin van der Linde, I don't think he can win this race. He has not got DRS here. Tom Blomkvist has, and it's all about Adam Pinches. Can Pinches get up into P2 as soon as possible? If he can get into P2, and when they go in towards Parabolica, Kelvin van der Linde is almost playing blocker for his teammate here, and as they come down into the Parabolica for the final time, it is going to be a drag race here. It is the Hungarian Pinches versus Tom Blomkvist. Will Blomkvist take his 2nd victory of this series, or will Pinches ruin it for him as they come across the line? It will be the BMW driver, or will it be it's going to be Pinches. Pinches may get it. No, it's Blomkvist. Blomkvist does get the victory there, and I think Kelvin van der Linde is given the assist there with the little bit of movement on the back straight down to Parabolica again. There's only one defensive move, it's perfect. But it is Tom Blomkvist that takes the victory. Ollie, take a breath. How good was that?
Incredible, especially the last meters on the start finish before the line. And yeah, thanks for everyone taking part, and thanks for these epic battles we had. Blomkvist winning the first round here at Monza, the first ever in DTM Esports Classic Challenge, and it would have been the first ever DTM race here in Italy in June as well.
Absolutely unbelievable. Again, yes, Tom Blomkvist takes the victory. Pinches takes P2. Kelvin van der Linde will be in P3. Timo Glock P4. Lucas Hauer in P5. And then we have in P6 Ben Tuck. We're going to be right back for race number 2, ladies and gentlemen, after a very short break.
I'm on the road, like emos. My neighbor's green, charging clean. His new ride has tech inside. Across the street, a different need. Top condition, low emission. And as a team, hybrid dream. Cause it drives so many miles, many miles, many miles, many miles. What the truck? Here comes Chuck. His fuel cell has no smell. Great range to make a change. Not decide how I ride. We decide how we ride. Whatever you drive, drive like a Bosch. With innovative powertrains from combustion engines to electric drives and fuel cells for lower emissions and better air quality. From Bosch.
Welcome back then, ladies and gentlemen, to the DTM Esports Classic Challenge. And wow, what an incredible race that was. A crazy race that was. And wow, one of those drivers involved in that, who's probably sweating bullets right now, is Ben Tuck. How you doing, man?
Yeah, he was battling for the lead as well, or in the front group, and I think you're really looking forward to have the DTM Trophy starting, Ben.
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait for it to start in real life, but at the moment, this is what we've got and this is what we're working with. Yeah, like you say, crazy race, and I am absolutely sweating as well, I can't lie. Yeah, crazy race. There was I think 1 or 2 laps in the middle there where I didn't have the DRS, and that's what killed me off. That's what dropped me out the front pack, but I'm hoping for better next time.
What's your key for the second one?
Make sure you've always got DRS. Yeah, that's where I lost out last time. Like I say, there was 1 lap in the middle where I didn't have DRS, and that's what dropped me out. So
you have to get used to not having DRS for DTM Trophy, I just said in the race.
Yeah, so that's true. I won't have that in real life, but I'm a bit more comfortable with the GT4 car in real life, so I'm really looking forward to that getting started up again.
Me too. Good luck for the second one. Thanks, Ben.
Thank you.
Again, Ollie, the smile on his face tells the whole story. That we've seen this from all of the drivers. Again, a lot of these never raced each other before. They're in different series. They've never done sim racing before, and just everybody, the driving standards have been incredible, but it's the smiles on people's faces that have been key for me.
That's right, and I think everyone is enjoying it so much what we're doing here. The esport racing is it's good for big and small children, as they awaken the child in them, I think, when they're sitting at the simulator at home.
Yeah, absolutely. We're in qualifying now. They've got to try and find their little gap here, but again, they want to try and stay in a pack as well. We saw how Slipstream took precedence in the first race. Of course, DRS not in effect within qualifying here. 7 minutes to go. They should just about get, I don't know, 2, maybe, if they're right in front of the field here, get a 3rd flying lap. You can see that Robin Friends is not waiting around there. Just gave a little love tap to the Mercedes driver there as they head up towards the Scari then for the first time. You've got to try and warm those tyres up as well on this first lap here. You see some weaving in the background by Timo Glock. And just using his experience, I think, just in general racing. There's no real differences in terms of trying to manage your tyres and stuff in qualifying from the real world to sim racing. So again, you're going to see a lot of the same traits, Ollie.
Yeah, they have to warm up the tires to bring the temperature in to have the proper grip for the perfect lap in qualifying, as we take another look into Timo Glock's simulator, sitting at home, racing his yellow Beast M4 DTM.
He was so close in race number 1. I just think, again, like Ben said, he probably just got stuck without DRS a couple of laps, and that kind of killed his chance of winning the race. And I think he's a bit too far back here to really take full advantage of the slipstream. So he needs to be a little bit closer. And wow, he's pretty chilled there. I don't know what he's doing there. He's flicking some sort of switch. He's put on the Glock button. He's ready to rock and roll as he comes down towards turn number 1 here, then through that first chicane again. You want to use the curb to help the rotation of the car. It's all about your exit speed on the exit of turn 2. And we've got this long run here down in towards, again, it's Variante 2, as Ollie said, and that is officially the name. So Variant 2 in English as we come around the right-hander.
Secondo Variante.
Ah, love it.
In Italian.
Stop it, Ollie.
I'm sorry.
It's too much. It's too much for my brain. All I can imagine you right now is you sat there with a rose in your mouth. Like, just stop serenading me there.
Yeah, standing on a gondola in Venice, which is not very far from this track. But I think Timo is one of the guys who raced this track most in his Formula 1 times in real life.
Yeah, probably. I think that's a fair statement to make there. I guess the esports drivers have probably got just as many laps in terms of sim racing as well, so they're going to be the ones to watch out for. Of course, Pinches, Ben Hitz, those two seem like the 2 fastest as it stands. But we went through the Lesmos there. You took a little bit too much curb, and I think that's the key corner on his circuit. Ascari, of course, the exit, but I think out of the second Lesmo, it's vital to run up towards Ascari. Again, you need to not quite hit the curb, you need to just graze it and let the corner turn your car around the right-hander. And yeah, just try and utilise the camber of the circuit. A little bit similar to Parabolica here. Again, you can see it's banked ever so slightly on entrance, but then it does flatten out here. You do not want to be out on the green stuff there. You can see exactly why, because the car off to the left-hand side there has proved why. But now they're coming across the line, and then Auer is the one who set it the fast time to start off with. Did that in qualifying number 1. As they come across the line. And Timo Glock is on pole position provisionally. And yes, I'm not a fanboy right now at all. I'm not overstating how much that means. But Tom Blomkvist then, well, of course, he won in race number 1, and he has gone purple, sector 1 and sector 2. Take us for the rest of this lap, Ollie. He's looking good.
Indeed, coming out of the Curva Parabolica, the last one, the double right-hander, closing into the line and going over. I think he's going to move to the front. Yes, it was Ben Tuck who was on P1 before, but he moved down into second spot. And Timo Glock, with his fastest lap, is down for some 0.4 of a second.
Gary Paffett there, 2018, 2003 champion in that very famous blue livery as he's been using over the last couple of weeks. And looks like he's just lost a couple of positions during qualifying, which is something you don't hear every day as he comes through to Lesmo. It's great to see someone like Gary Paffett here, an absolute legend in the UK, and legend in the DTM series as well. But we're on board with Kelvin van der Linde. Of course, he was battling for the lead of this race, and maybe it was the defining factor for Tom Blomkvist taking the victory in race number 1. But currently finds himself in P17, yet to put a representative time in here. And yeah, not ideal as we come down through Ascari then. Timo Glock then is still in P3 here. Lucas Auer down into P4. Pinches, 0.8 of a second off the pace right now, and that is a bit of a shock for me, Ollie.
Indeed, he's moving down at 6, but I'm wondering why Kelvin has no time running under his name, but yeah, maybe he's on his out lap, but still, it's some 22 minutes and 15 seconds to go. He has to hurry if he wants to stay at the time.
Yeah, he should just about get one lap in, so it's going to be yeah, kind of a one-shot qualifying for him. Oh, there we go, Pinches, 0.002 of a second behind Blomkvist. But that is a feather in Blomkvist's cap, because this guy, I'm telling you, he's one of the world's best on RaceRoom. So for someone like Blomkvist to be up in pole position ahead of him, that is huge, especially coming from the real world of racing. So Kelvin van der Linde, here we go then. He was a huge part of race number 1 and still yet to get a victory in the series. It would be leading this whole series if it was indeed done by points, but of course this is more of an exhibition series for you people at home to enjoy. And well, he's gone quickest of his first sector hit, which doesn't really say a lot because he hasn't really put in a lap time yet. So yeah, a lot to be said for my commentary there, Ollie. But can Kelvin van der Linde get himself into the top 5 here? Robin Freins, by the way, top 4. He's in 4th position.
Great, but I hardly doubt that Kelvin gonna put a lap down where he's in the top 5 at the moment. Yeah, maximum 4.5 of a second down for the fastest time of Tom Blomkvist. That's what he has to nail here at Monza circuit, the Autodromo Nazionale di Monza, how it is called officially in Italy, or the Royal Park of Monza. He went by another M4 DTM with his Audi, and here he comes, last corner, the Curva Parabolica back to the main straight, and then we're gonna have his time. Do you think he's gonna be in top 5?
I think he's gonna go P4 here as he crosses the line. I think it's gonna be good enough for P4. I'd be very surprised if he gets into the top 3 as he crosses the line. It's not even that, it's P6. And that's it, it's him done. Here we go, that's Timo Glock then we're on board with. Where did Timo end up? Timo will be P5 then. So he's going to stay into P5. Timo Glock then not able to indeed better his position there. Pinches did take pole then. Wow, look at that, very close, 0.04 of a second and half a tenth between Pinches and Tom Blomkvist. So Blomkvist momentarily had it, but Pinches is now indeed in P1. So can the esports guys get the victory in race number 2? We will find out very, very shortly after a little message from our partners. Welcome back then, ladies and gentlemen, to the DTM Esports Classic Challenge here. We're at Monza for race number 2 of the DTM. We've got some of the best DTM drivers of all time. We've got some drivers from support series. We've got some of the best esports drivers. And I think, for my money, this is the best exhibition series currently in the world right now. Close racing, incredible racing, and very clean racing. I'm, of course, joined by Ollie Sittler. And wow, race 2. If race 1's anything to go by, race 2 is going to be absolutely crazy.
Thanks, Luke Crane. It's fantastic what we have here. The menu is prepared as we take a look into the Ginetta of one of our drivers. It's Ben Green, who's driving in his car he smashed some years ago, and he built his rig into. So that's the most spectacular camera we have in the grid.
Just sorting something out of his camera. I don't think he realizes he's on camera. And if he does, it'd be nice for him to give us a little wave, but I don't think he has any idea that he may or may not be on camera. But what a rig that is. That is probably the most impressive rig I've ever seen, in all fairness. Very, very good indeed. Right, we're about to grid up here then, ladies and gentlemen. It's about to kick off. Race number 1 was won by Tom Blomkvist. Kelvin van der Linde had a chance of winning it, but he indeed came 3rd in the end. And Pinches, the esports driver, came in 2nd position. We're here at Monza, and wow, we've got the red lights on screen here then, ladies and gentlemen. We're about to kick off for race 2 of the DTM Esports Classic Challenge. Race 2 here at Monza, and there we go, we do go green indeed. 50 minutes of high octane action, and again, is P1 going to be a poison challenge? Adam Pinches did indeed take it at the death in qualifying, and you can see in behind him already, it's Ben Tuck, and actually Blomkvist has got a terrible start here through towards turn number 1, and there's no way in a million years we're going to see 2 clean runs through turn 1. It's impossible to do it once, but I'll tell you what, they've done a very good job here indeed. And yes, Ollie, they've gone through clean again.
Once again, professionals behind the wheel, but Adam Pinches managed to stay in front with his Mercedes car as Ben Tuck is on P2 at the moment, and Kelvin van der Linde is trying to close the gap as Robin Freins is right behind his neck.
Absolutely, Robin Freins has stepped it up here. He's reached a new level, which is great to see. Nice to see a new driver, well, not a new driver, but a different driver at the front end of the grid, or the sharp end of the grid, as I like to call it. But it is Pinches, the esports driver. He's the only one really from the esports crowd that's anywhere near the front as it stands. Ben Tuck then, Kelvin van der Linde, Robin Freins in 4th. Tom Blomkvist, winner from race 1, is in P5. Timo Glock is in P6. Ben Green, who we saw on camera there, one of the best looking men in the race, that's for sure. Currently in P7, sorry. Lucas Auer in P8. And then we've got Kubowski, the next of the esports drivers, then down in P9. And then we've got Burka, who is in P10 as well. Dave Gaming down in P11 here. Can he get the performance that he indeed deserves as well? Been here pretty much every single week. And very excited to see him try and get that top 10. Pinches then still leads this race. We're on board with Ben Tuck, and well, Kelvin van der Linde has decided I need to do the bump drafting again, and he's become a bit of a specialist here. It's almost like he's a NASCAR driver right now.
Yeah, he's ducking down at the rear end of Ben Tuck's car, just coming out of the slipstream, right heading into the first chicane. But we take a look at René Rast, who's down at position number 18, the guy who was in pole position for the first race, while Lucas Auer is gaining 1 spot, moving up to P6 at the moment, and putting Kubowski, I think, down to P8 for
no, Ben
the
Green.
moment.
It was Ben Green. So
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's Kubowski that took full advantage of it, but actually Ben Green has actually recovered nicely here and keeps himself then into P7. But here we go then. Of course, Ben Tuck's got that DRS. He said it's vital to keep the DRS from our interview earlier, and when he's got it for this lap here. So Pinches not able to get away, not able to get that 1 second advantage on the rest of the field. Very difficult to do so at Monza. But Robin Freins in behind, and Timo Glock. Again, Timo Glock, last race, kind of just fell off the front pack here. Needs to work together with Robin Freins, for my money, to try and catch up to the front group and make it sort of a 5-way race. They don't want to be falling too far back here. But the front 3 are Ben Tuck, Adam Pinches, and Kelvin van der Linde. 3 names that we saw in the first race here today. So we're expecting them to do very well here again. Of course, they're used to the DRS. They're used to racing side by side here. Well, Robin Freins has got that DRS open here as well. So he will indeed try and close up to the front 3. And can he drag Timo Glock with him? Lucas Auer, a little bit again, same as first race here, Ollie. Lucas Auer just off the lead pack, just out of the DRS range as well, which means he's not able to have fun and have a little cat and mouse fight with the front runners.
Yeah, but like in the first race as well, Timo Glock down to 5th spot, right behind Robin Freins, both are trying to get a step onto the podium as the race is going on for another 11.5 minutes. And if you're interested, well, Kelvin van der Linde is taking the lead. If you're interested in some more information about DTM and DTM Trophy, make sure to follow us on all the social media channels and just enter the DTM Trophy into Google and find out the latest news of the balance of performance.
Absolutely, great stuff there as usual from Ollie. And Kelvin's changed his strategy here, but he knows the Bentuck does not have DRS on this lap. So that means he can try and drive away here. Pinches does indeed. The Hungarian, the sole Hungarian in this championship today, is now up into P2. And this is where Tuck, last time out, about halfway through the race, lost touch with the leaders because he was leading the race, didn't have DRS, and just wasn't able to maintain with the leaders here. So it's up to Pinches now, and it's up to, indeed, Kelvin van der Linde to drive away and try and make it a 2-horse race. Again, it's great to work together with many drivers, but it's also shortens your odds of winning the race.
Isn't it funny if you take a look to the Hungarian and the Italian flag? It's just moved around by 90 degrees, but nevertheless, it's always great to have an Hungarian racing here in RaceRoom in the DTM Esports Classic Challenge. While van der Linde is still in front, Pinches on P2 and then Bentuck, and we take a look to the blue-blooded Austrian guy. Ferdinand von Habsburg is with us, the guy who was driving the Aston Martin in the last season, coming from Formula 3. Driving a Carlin car, and he moved into the WRT, the private Audi race cockpit for this season.
Hell of a career already then. Wow, incredible stuff here. Well, look at this there, Pinches under pressure, and look at this, Robin Freins is up to P3. Pinches then under pressure from Kelvin van der Linde, and it will be Kelvin that has DRS, and it will be Pinches that doesn't. And as they come in towards turn number 1, Timo Glock on the brakes very late here, and I think the top 5 are now very close indeed. Yes, they are. So Timo Glock is in the lead battle here. We've got a 5-way battle here at Monza. I don't know whether you can tell, Ollie, but my smile is ear to ear right now. I cannot wait to see how this unfolds.
Indeed, it's another almost 10 minutes to go, but the battle is going on throughout the race. What great stuff we have, and it was a great move to put DTM onto the Monza track. Just virtual, but maybe we're gonna see the cars and the guys racing in real life as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, it's deemed as one of the easiest circuits in terms of sim racing because it's pretty much in every single game. But to get right, it's easy to lap, but to get right and do it fast is so tough indeed. You have to maximize every exit and every corner, and that's not an understatement. You have to be on the level every single lap to indeed maintain either qualifying pace or race pace. But Kelvin van der Linde has done a job here. He's behind as he crosses the line, so he's got DRS, so he might be able to drive away. But look at this then. We're on board then with Robin Freins. So Freins having a very good race here today. And I tell you what, he is being slingshot up towards Kelvin van der Linde. And van der Linde will indeed lead out towards the Parabolica. And Robin Freins, maybe not used to being this close up to the lead here in this championship, just runs a little bit wide for the entry to Parabolica, but does indeed sort himself out. But now Kelvin's going to be the one who's going to lose out on the next lap. So you can see that Robin's got the DRS open, will not overtake him by the time they cross the line. So it will be him, the first car with DRS, as they head on towards here. I believe they're on lap number 6. So down in towards the first chicane here. You can see the Bentuck still in touch here. He's then trying to battle with Pinches. And I'll tell you what, the real life drivers are looking for 2 race victories here today, Ollie.
I think so, but I was just thinking about the last track we had, our DTM Esports Classic Challenge race on. It was Norris Ring, which seems to be very easy as well from looking upon, while Robin Freins is taking the lead here at Monza, and van der Linde is trying to re-enter the leading spot. But yeah, both tracks really look very easy from just looking on it, but it's pretty hard to drive, have to brake, especially at one certain point, and have to get the exit right from each and every corner.
Yeah, absolutely. Look at this. Look how close these 4 drivers are. Robin, of course, has got the DRS, so he's okay to just drive away from Kelvin van der Linde. And van der Linde is like his shield at this point. He's got to try and hold up the 2 drivers behind him with the DRS as they come out of the Scari. They're down towards the Parabolica. And Freins, the poor bloke, he's been racing in the Formula E series. He's been racing in this series as well. There's no let-up. Like, if he's not racing anyone that's rubbish. But everybody's unbelievable he's racing against. So if he can get a big performance here, it's so difficult to get across the line and win a race in any form of motorsport. But the relief of actually doing it and the confidence you gain from that can really improve your results moving forward. And you can see here, no one wants to overtake him. So Kelvin was... No one wants to not have DRS. So Kelvin was trying to hold them up. He's trying to get out the way. Adam Pinches did not want to overtake there. So as soon as Kelvin moved out the way, the DRS effect made Pinches take the lead. So Pinches is now going to be the one without DRS. And none of them want to get caught out here. And none of them want to really be leading the race as they cross the line. So we're starting to see what we wouldn't normally see in motorsport here, Ollie. Like people strategizing to try and not lead the race.
Yeah, maybe. We would have seen it if DTM would have been in Monza at the end of June. But it's, I think, the first time for me to see stuff like that. There's one thing I want to point out for Robin Freins. He's not only racing DTM Esports Classic Challenge and Formula E, but he's racing the Audi series as well. It's called RCCO Race Home, where all the Audi DTM drivers are racing each Tuesday.
Wow, that is a heavy old schedule here. And I guess it just keeps them all in tune for when the racing comes back, because it's going to be a heavy schedule again there. They are going to be wanted by every news outlet possible. It's going to be a lot of press, a lot of interviews they're going to be doing once they get back to the real stuff. But we're not back at the real stuff as of yet here. We've got 5 minutes remaining of our second and final race here. And well, Freins, that's not bug drafting, that's the closing speed there was almost ripping his rear bumper off of Pinches. And wow, this is the first time we've seen this, but an esports driver is being helped by a real life driver. Freins doesn't care about who he's got in front of him here. He's trying to indeed help Pinches lead this race, but also he doesn't want to be caught out with a DRS, so he's going to try and push Pinches to make sure that he is going to be held up again here. And as they cross the line, he's going to straight away take the lead here as well. So he has got DRS, but I'll tell you what, Robin Freins is playing an absolute blinder right now.
Indeed. There's one different other thing I have to say, that the organization is working on a very hard on the final calendar for this 2020 season, and it's going to be a very spectacular and a very thrilling one. That's what I wanted to say at this point as well.
Yeah, everyone can't, we all can't wait for it all to happen. This is great, this is amazing. It's a great opportunity for people like myself, but the reason why we fell in love with sim racing, the reason why these games exist is because of real world motorsport. It's a big fact. But let's not worry about that for right now, because look at this then. The front four, you can cover them with a loincloth. They're that close here. Robin Freins leads the way. Kelvin van der Linde is in second. Ben Tuck in third. Pinches in fourth. With 3.5 minutes to go here, Ollie, it looks like it might be party time.
And as we've seen in the last race here, it's not going to be over until the flag drops. So there's going to be a lot of changes in the when the clock is running for the last 3.5 minutes. Freins in the front, then van der Linde, and Ben Tuck is still battling for the front this time. I think he has DRS, and down in the 5th spot, it's Timo Glock after a small gap battling with
Freins is letting him go.
Freins
is letting him go. Freins is letting Kelvin van der Linde go here, but now he's under pressure from Pinches. So Freins did this earlier, but he did it a lot earlier on that straight, 2 laps ago. But he's done it now to try and keep DRS here. And well, I think that's far too risky. I think that's far too risky moving forward in this race. I think, that's where incidents can happen. We saw a bit of contact between everyone, a bit of door rubbing, especially as they went into Parabolica. But Freins now is into P3, and I'm not too sure who crossed the line in the lead there. I think it might have been Pinches. So we won't find out unless we go on Four-Body Drive and see the DRS open. So Robin Freins then is in third. And we check out Kelvin van der Linde here to see if he has indeed got DRS. I don't think he has. So I think he might have been the driver that crossed the line in the lead. Yeah, he's been mugged here by 3 drivers, so it was van der Linde that led the race. So it's going to be 3 wide into the second chicane. Freins on the inside, and then round the outside, Ben Tuck from P4 up to P1. Is he going to get the job done? Up towards the Lesbos here. Freins trying to hold around the outside, but Ben Tuck could get this done. As they come through the first Lesmo here again, not so much camber through the first turn, but the second turn, again, it's really only one lane through there, and Ben Tuck from 4th to 1st with 1 minute 50 seconds to go. One more lap to go. He's made his move.
What a great move from the young English guy, moving up to the first spot. Maybe he's gonna be at position 2 when he's crossing the line, remembering his DRS opportunities, but it's 1.5 minutes to go, and it's Robin Freins who still wants to win this race after he won the first race in Zolder. The Dutch guy is really hot to get a second one.
Look at this then. So Ben Tuck, he knows Robin's going to try and bump draft him, so he tried to move out the way to force Robin to go up the inside. But I tell you what, Pinches is, look at this, it's now going to be 7th for the lead. So they're all trying to slow down to get DRS here. And now it's 7th for the lead. Blomkvist, Lucas Auer and Timo Glock are now involved here. And well, pick a name out of the hat. Pick a name out of the hat here, ladies and gentlemen. Who's going to get the victory? Goes 4 wide down in towards turn number 1. And wow, it is Ben Tuck that takes the lead of this race. Pinches was in second, but no, Kelvin van der Linde takes second. Lucas Auer now is into P4. Robin Freins moves down into P5. Oh, this is incredible stuff here, Ollie. They're coming down towards the second chicane. And well, I tell you what, I think if anyone from the top 6, I think Timo may have Timo's fallen off the back here. He's now into, he's fallen right down into the 14th position. But it's between Ben Tuck and Kelvin van der Linde. Oh, Ben Tuck makes a mistake. Kelvin van der Linde is going to mug him here. Takes full advantage as they come down towards the Lesmos. You can see Ben Tuck then goes defensive to stop Adam Pinches making the move here. And as they come up towards the second Lesmo, Ollie, who do you think's going to get the dub?
I don't know. It was 7 cars battling for the lead, crossing the start-finish line for the last time as the clock is down to 0 at the moment, but it's Kelvin van der Linde being in the front. Our winner of race 1, Tom Blomkvist, is down to position 6. We can see him in the background, but it's one of the guys, van der Linde, Tuck, Pinches, or Auer, winning this second race here in Monza.
Yeah, if we did have a points system here, it would be Kelvin van der Linde that would be leading the championship, but he's yet to win a race. Then they're coming down towards Parabolica for the final time, and it's like a bunch of hungry sharks in behind them circling the prey right now. And there's a late dive by Lucas Auer here, and it is going to be a drag race. Kelvin van der Linde leads the race then. It's Ben Tuck in second, Lucas Auer in third, and Pinches, the Esports star, is in 4th position. Ben Tuck tucks himself under the rear wing here. Kelvin blocks, and well, will that open the door for Lucas Auer? It's a drag race across the line, and Kelvin van der Linde has got the monkey off his back. He will take victory in race number 2. What a race, Ollie. What an unbelievable spectacle we have had here in Italy.
Incredible. And it has taken some 8 races for this guy to win his first ever DTM Esport Classic rounds. Congratulations to Kelvin van der Linde, Bernd Tuck and Lucas Auer, the guys we have on the podium this time.
Absolutely incredible there. Ben Green, ironically, who's down in P7, got the fastest lap of the race. But it is Kelvin van der Linde. The Safa gets the job done then for Audi. We got Ben Tuck in second position. So close, but yet so far. 300th of a second. And then we got Lucas Auer finishing in P3. Pinches, who has definitely not disgraced himself here today. The esports star in P4. Tom Blomkvist, winner from race number 1, P5. And we got Kubowski is in P6. We've got Ben Green then in P7, Rennie Rast in P8, Ben Hitz is in P9, and then Habsburg is in P10. Oh, wow. That's going to take some recovering, Ollie.
I'm not quite sure what happened to Timo Glock, but he was down at position 16 at the end, while he was battling with the front at position 5 for the start or till the late stages of the race. But whatever, was a nice thing we have seen here in Monza for round 4 at the DTM Esport Classic Challenge, while our surprise race is coming up next week on Sunday. So stay tuned and be sure that you're with us, and stay tuned for the social media channels to see what happens at the surprise class for round 5 of the DTM Esport Classic calendar at the 31st of May at 2 German summertime.
Awesome stuff. Well, there you go. That is, again, going to take some real recovery from me and Ollie. It's been an absolute pleasure to cast that event for you all at home again. Hopefully you did enjoy it. But like Ollie said, we are going to be back next week at 2 p.m. So make sure that you do indeed tune in for the DTM Esports Classic Challenge finale.